Yo, what's going on? This is Kurt and I'm back for another video. The topic of my video today is a topic that I really always wanted to speak about and to break down because I want to show you guys the bullshit. I want to show you guys that what you think certain things are and certain people are, they are not what they think they are, and they are not what they say they are. It's always about playing games. It's always about abusing people's time, energy, their mental space, their emotional space. It's not about giving the shit raw and like it is. If you go on the internet and you research about astrology, you'll find some videos, you'll find some documentation, but no one can explain to you simply what astrology is. That's why I had some consultations, and I had a few consultations this week where people asked and we spoke about astrology. The subject came up and they asked me what book should I get, and I said none. I haven't read 0 books on astrology. I haven't read 0 books on astrology. I've read some booklets on astrology. I've researched the zodiac signs and whatever. But what I came to the conclusion of was any science, like I said before, you gotta go to the basic of the basic and get the information for yourself. You gotta get the basic understanding of the Kabbalah and not use systems. Stop using the systems. When you use a system, the system is using you. Stop using the tarot. When you use a system, the system is using you. Instead, go into the space, go into the mental space, the emotional space, the Akashic space of the people. What space were they in when they created the system, so that you're able to understand it? And if you want, now when you use the system, you are using the system is not using you. Anytime there's something obscure, I don't understand it, I don't fully get it, but I'm still doing it because it works, blah, 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 you're in the wrong place. There is nothing surprising or there's nothing divine about the predictions of astrology. And I'll explain it to you guys right now. So the title of the video is Astrology, the Unconscious Psychic Reservoirs. What you have to understand is that everything is the 4 elements, as above, so below. So the 4 elements, you have the cosmic 4 elements, and then you have the macro 4 elements and the micro 4 elements. This is you at birth. This is your Akasha. This is your space. This is your DNA. But your space is a song. Your DNA, or what they call your jung DNA, is activated by music. It is light. It is your connection with all the entirety of the information and the intelligence and the skills within your bloodline. You have to understand that the enemy of Akasha, the number 1 enemy of Akasha, is time. So you at birth, which is Akasha, which is this dot, you are integrated, you're balanced, you're harmonious, you're clear, you're authentic. Your Akasha is still not fractured into the 4 elements, or rather, the imbalance within your 4 elements does not veil your Akasha. You want a great example of Akasha? You want a great example of Akasha versus time, which is the ego. Sherlock Holmes. What or who is Sherlock Holmes? If you take the letters within the name of Sherlock Holmes scrambles out to School of Hermes. Sherlock Holmes is the School of Hermes. Why do you think that Sherlock is able to solve things in such eccentric way? Because he is tapping into the frequency of music of his DNA and of Akasha. That's why in Sherlock Holmes versus the Shadows, or one of those movies, you saw Sherlock in the beginning of the movie. He's attacked by 3 or 4 guys in black. What did they represent? They represented the lower sphere of Saturn, and he kicked one of the guys in the knees. And if you go in astrology, they say the knees is represented by Saturn. And one of the guys had a cube on his hand, the cube of Saturn, the cube of time. So the enemy of Akasha, the enemy of your DNA, the enemy of your soul song is time. Now, what is time and what the fuck does this have to do with astrology? Astrology, or the astrological signs, are separated into three distinct type of signs. You have the cardinal signs, you have the fixed signs, and you have the mutable signs. The cardinal signs is when the four elements or the imbalance within your soul song creates your personality or your ego. Your ego is time. Your ego is constituted of air, water, fire, and earth. An imbalance aggregate of that creates your ego. But now, when this cardinal, it's cardinal because it is the first instance of the deactivation of Akasha. But now, within this fragmented being, when there is another fragmentation or another imbalance added, what do you get? You get the fixed signs of astrology. And now, when within an imbalance that comes from an imbalance, there is what you call the mutable signs of astrology. The mutable signs of astrology, what it simply means that those signs or those energies are disconnected from the frequency of Akasha. They're two levels away from Akasha. And then under the mutable signs, unbeknownst to you, this is when we would enter the shadow realms, or the realms that are completely disconnected from the soul song or from the vibratory or frequency of Akasha. Now, the word, where do you encounter Akasha in your day-to-day life? Every single day you encounter Akasha. It's called your dreams. If you take the word dream and you scramble the letters of the word dream, what do you get? The Spanish word madre. Madre means mother. Your dreams are nothing but a fragmentation of your own Akasha, of your own space. And listen, there is absolutely nothing wrong for Akasha to go from this to this to this to this. Why? Because that's what we came here for. You came for an experience. You came to understand. You came to realize. You came to solve. You came to solve a mathematical equation, the mathematical equation of your existence, or whatever existence you took. There's nothing wrong with that. But what is wrong is when you linger in those spheres, that's when it becomes a problem. Because the zodiac signs are nothing but the psychic reservoirs of our collective unconscious. So when Carl Jung said the collective unconscious is what the images that comes to you without you knowing or without your conscious will, he was giving you a half truth, because every zodiac sign is you, is me, it's us. Look, every week we have the dumpster. The dumpster is where we put our garbage. So every Thursday, every Monday, the garbage man comes, he picks up the garbage and he brings it to the dumpster. Now, the zodiac, what are they consisting of, or what are they made of? They're made of our collective garbage. So let me give you the example for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. For the zodiac sign of Scorpio, let's say that you have an emotion which is water, but you do not have enough earth to express it. You feel something about someone or something, but you can't express those emotions. Well, water, earth. There's an excess of water. Where does this water go? It goes into the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So our collective excess of water, based on our inability to express an emotion because of limitations due to our earth, is what creates the zodiac sign of Scorpio. it creates the zodiac sign of Gemini. You know what? You're talking with your girl, but she's so annoying because she thinks with her feelings, and you're very logical, and you don't understand what she's saying, and she annoys you. This annoyance, this inability to bridge the gap with the two forms of communication, that's what creates the unconscious collective sign of Gemini, our inability to communicate. So when they tell you the planet Mercury is in retrograde, you have to understand what that means. I'm going to explain that in a few seconds. So now, our collective unconscious psychic material is what forms those zodiac signs. But remember, Akasha, 4 elements: air, water, earth, fire. The same principle: Jupiter, fire, air; Pluto, water; Mars, fire; Venus, air. The elements or the planets are nothing but the cosmic elements, and those cosmic elements will have an effect on the zodiacs. But this is the secret, or the quote-unquote secret that's not really a fucking secret. The zodiac signs are alive. They are populated with us, with our consciousness. So all the equations, all the things about yourself you haven't figured out yet, where do you think they live? They live in the zodiac signs. So Scorpio is alive. Sagittarius is alive. Gemini is alive. Leo is alive. So now when Leo, when Sagittarius, when Scorpio is alive, when a planet which represents an element goes through one of those signs, it will have an effect. Let me give you an example. Let's say they drop a bunch of guns and a Brinch truck in a certain neighborhood. What's gonna happen? These niggas are gonna rush through the Brinch truck. They're gonna fight. There's gonna be a war. Niggas gonna take the guns. They're gonna shoot at each other. What is that? That's Pluto, because water is what? Cash flow. Pluto is death, sex, and transformation. So Pluto going in this hood, or this particular hood, would be the element of water going into a specific sign. I'm gonna give you a few examples so you guys could grasp what I'm trying to say. So let's say out of nowhere they drop some fireworks in such and such hood, in such and such neighborhood, and niggas is going crazy. Niggas is so happy. What would that be? The fireworks, the fire element. Mars, that would be going into Scorpio. Or let's say nowadays in such and such state, to have a license, you need to learn Shakespeare. What the fuck? We gotta, to be able to drive, I gotta learn Shakespeare. Well, driving, which is an earth sign, we could say driving is Taurus. And Shakespeare is higher learning. It's sophisticated. It's educated. That would be Jupiter, which is both an air and a fire sign. So the zodiac signs are not dead. We live in the zodiac signs. We populate the zodiac signs. The people from past generations who didn't complete the work of alchemy, the parts of them that were trapped in those realms are still populating those realms. So the zodiac sign is not something that is dead. So why am I saying this? When you see someone making a prediction, oh yo, this and this planet is moving in such and such sign, this is going to happen. It's not fucking hard. Why is it hard? If you put a bunch of guns in this type of environment, you know what's going to happen. If you go to Europe, if you go to Greece and you do this in a specific type of environment, you know what's going to happen. The zodiac signs are populated by your psychic energy, by my psychic energy, by all our psychic energies. And what we have when we have a planet moving into a sign is simply one of the 4 elements affecting a segment of a population that's already fragmented. So anytime a planet moves into a sign, You're seeing a planet moving into an imbalanced aggregate of psychic energy. That's what it is. It's nothing special. Now, how does the government, or how do they, we always hear they align their events with the stars, with astrology, but nobody can, no, not a single person has explained how they do this shit. But it's very simple. If you control how people marry, how people eat, how people perceive themselves, what people see on the television, what foods they consume, what is their education, what type of music they get, you control the soul, the spirit of those people. So you are able to know that, hey, based on such and such living conditions in this part of the world, naturally, based on the energy, their personality will fragment and it will go towards those types of behaviors. So Neptune is associated with dreams, illusions, and fantasies. Well, if you put a certain person in a position where their life is so miserable that all they could think and all they could do is read books and watch series just to escape the world, well, how do you think that you're not going to be able to manipulate what's going to happen in their life? So when you control every aspect of building people, you control all the zodiac signs. And once you control the zodiac signs, it is easy for you to put it, whether in the education, whether in the media, you can manipulate. Oh, let's say when this fire element is going to enter into Libra, because I know how I've educated my population, I know how they react, I know how they were fragmented from the connection with their own Akasha. I know that they are under my control. When the fire planet, which is the cosmic element, enters into the zodiac sign, which is nothing but the sub-dimensions or the parallel dimensions that our collective consciousness live in. This is the most important thing for you to understand about astrology. The zodiac signs are alive and they are populated. So when this fire sign enters into this air sign, and when this fire element enters into this air sign or this air dominated sign, which is Libra, the government is able to move mass consciousness. Just like the government is able to use propaganda, telling people to get the you know what. But you're telling the people to get the you know what. Again, Astrology 101, Gemini. Now people, oh, there's a something in the air. You breathe the air sign. But now people are being put into two groups, the people that got it and the people that didn't get it. Again, Gemini. But what happens, what is the air planet? Oh, Mercury. And Mercury rules what? Mercury rules Gemini and Mercury rules Virgo, which are two mutable signs. So now you create the ones that got it and the ones that didn't get it. That's Gemini. But now you're also using the air element or the placement of the air element, and you're using it against Virgo, which is the other mutable sign, because Virgo is ruled by what? It is ruled by Mercury. But what is particular about Virgo? The zodiac sign of Virgo is the people that are constantly worried about their health. Either they're scared of this, they're scared of that, and they constantly think that they have certain diseases. So they always have to go to the doctor. They always have to take certain precautions. So they're using the air element against Gemini, against Virgo, two planets that are dominated by Mercury. And what is Mercury? Mercury is the messenger, because Mercury makes the round around the sun the fastest, so he's able to broadcast. And this is what happens when people get overloaded with information, it starts to create mass paranoia. So don't say Mercury is now in Virgo. No, say the government is using the media, which is the air element, to target people's to do which is the earth element people's body. This is what astrology is. We are creating the zodiac signs as we speak right now based on our disconnection with our own akasha, our own soul song. But that's why I say you do not get out of the celestial realms and get out of the zodiac. Why? Because a community, a civilization that controls the way they eat, they control the way they sleep, they control the way they marry, they control the way they do business, they control the way they hunt, they control the way they celebrate, they control their morals. They're not going to create too many psychic reservoirs of energy. And even when they create those psychic reservoirs of energy, because they control the entirety of their civilization, they will be able to do certain rituals geared to always balance those imbalances that can occur within the sphere of living life in a certain community. So anyone using astrology to predict stuff, it's again, some people are born astrologers. Kudos to you. It's wonderful. You have an amazing gift. You have an amazing talent. But let's not act like the science of astrology is only for the initiated, because you are living astrology. One is you as a person working on your spirituality, balancing your 4 elements, activating your 5th element. That's your spirituality. And astrology is simply the spirituality of the collective unconscious, macro and micro. That's all it is. So now, when you watch a video about someone telling you, well, hey, such and such planet is going and this is going to do, first thing you have to say, get fuck all that shit. The planet. What element is it? And the sign. What imbalance you think the sign or the astrological sign deals with. I gave you an example. When you have too much water, not enough earth, it creates Scorpio. So you, through your own research, go figure out what is Gemini, what is Sagittarius, what is Libra, what is Capricorn. What are the imbalances that created those psychic pockets of the aggregate of the energy of the unconscious collective? So when you understand the mindset, the emotional mindset of all the populations within the 12 zodiac signs, it's so easy for you to say, oh, this is water, this is fire, this is earth, it's coming. Oh, okay, that's what's going to happen, or that's what they're trying to do. This is what they haven't been able to explain to you for the longest. Yeah, they control us with astrology. Yeah, they control us with astrology. But from A to B, they couldn't give you that science because they don't know it, or they choose not to tell you. So therefore, today I wanted to tell you. So when you see, for instance, I wrote that down here. Oh, Uranus, eccentric, unpredictable changes, rebellion. Again, don't understand this as if those words are coming from nowhere. They're coming from the experiences we have within a certain type of civilizations or a certain type of society. And you understand that, okay, Uranus is the air element. Jupiter, luck, growth, expansion, abundance. Again, take those generic things they say about the signs, about the planets, about the energies within signs, and decode it. That's a big homework I'm telling you guys to do, but this homework will benefit you in that it will give you tranquility. You will be able to see what the fuck is going on. You'll be able to read the plays. You won't get lost in, oh fuck, I gotta learn about the degrees, and this teacher says that Western astrology is different than Vedic astrology, and Vedic astrology is better than this. Nah. People are people, experiences are experiences. There's reservoirs of psychic experiences based on the collective unconscious. That's It doesn't matter if it's sidereal astrology, if it's Vedic astrology, if it's classical astrology, it's all the same. At the end of the day, you have elements dealing with people and dealing specifically with the imbalances that our collective minds create and the realms that we populate. So that means that although I'm here making a video, doing a video in front of you, and you are here in front of me, there is a part of your consciousness that lives somewhere else because you're truly beyond time and space. And within that other realm, there are certain energies and certain astrological currents and certain elements specifically passing through those realms, and depending on the and depending on the state of consciousness of the aggregates within those realms, they will have an effect. So if you are affected deep outside of your consciousness right now, the consequence of what you're feeling down there eventually trickle down and they reach you, and this has an effect on you. And that's why they say, a disease can come mentally before it comes physically. Blessings, abundance comes. It's all about that. Now, if you understand what I'm trying to say, what you gotta tell yourself is, oh shit, I gotta reactivate my Akasha. So all those little spheres, all those little dreams, you want to bring them back into balance. You want to bring everything out of the mutable back to the fixed back into the cardinal, and eventually back to your Akasha. That's all it is. So the collective, this is how I wrote it scientifically. The collective surplus that creates zodiac signs is based on our emotional or elemental imbalances. Every zodiac sign is alive, and the planets represent the elements going through those zodiac signs. So the government using the media to scare people into doing, you know what? They were using the air element within Virgo, for instance. Or the government or anyone doing such and such thing, they were using this element within this type of population that has those type of emotional, intellectual, and spiritual characteristics. So that's the video for today. I hope I was very clear. I hope I've simplified astrology for you. Again, the zodiac signs are alive, are populated, are dynamic. They're not static. They keep evolving based on the society that creates those zodiac signs and based on the mentalities, the mores, the habits, the education, the spiritual systems of the people living within those societies. And that's why they want to create a what? A new world. You know what? Because they want to completely disconnect you from your own specific Akasha. And if you have your own Akasha, your own bloodline or your own lineage has their own Akasha, and this belongs to a bigger Akasha, etc., etc. They want to control everything about you, and the way they want to do that, they want to create one world culture. By creating one world culture, you can no longer go to a different system to have different results, because they blocked you here, they blocked you here, they blocked you here. They made everybody uniform, so it's much easy to use the internet to do mass rituals and to move energies how they want to move energies. So that was the video for today. Comment, share, like, and subscribe. Peace.